Trump needs no introduction, and we all know why. His ability to catch media attention. It seems like every time I walk into my living room, and the news is on, I see and hear his name along with his latest idiotic shenanigans. In fact, right now, I have CNN on, and the showing headline is, Rubio continues to attack Trump. A feud which has degenerated into an argument between Trump and Rubio as to which of them put on more makeup and which one pissed their pants during the latest Republican debate.
First he had this little makeup thing applying like makeup around his mustache because he had one of those sweat mustaches. Then he asked for a full-length mirror. I don't know why, because the podium goes up to here, but he wanted a full-length mirror. Maybe to make sure his pants weren't wet. I don't know. Then
you had to see him. Wait, you had to see him backstage. He was putting on makeup with a trowel. Like, no, I don't want to say that. I will not say that he was trying to cover up his ears. I will not say that. No, he was just trying to cover up. He was just trying to cover up the sweat that pours. I never saw. Did you ever see a guy sweat like this? So he was so scared, like a little frightened puppy. And he kept.
Just how ridiculous has Trump's coverage gotten? I have some data of my own to put it into perspective. I took the 2016 headlines from the transcribed shows of Anderson Cooper 360, the most watched show on CNN, and created a word frequency count to see just how often Trump was mentioned in those headlines. For those of you who have not seen a typical word frequency list, the words at the top of the list tend to be extremely simple and essential words. Here are the top 10 words from a typical word frequency list. Okay, so at number 10, we have he, and then we have his, was, that, I, in, to, and of, and at number 1, the. So, obviously, based on these words, no name or proper noun should be able to compete with words that are this common. But just for the hell of it, let's see the first 5 words from those headlines. At number 5, we have the. Okay, 4, on. 3 is to. Number 2 is in. And at number 1, we have Trump. That's right, Trump is the number 1 word. And his headline grabbing has gone back to far before the beginning of 2016. It started right from the beginning of his campaign. Since last July, over a period of 7 months, Trump is mentioned more times in those titles than the name Clinton has been named in the headlines for over the past decade, which includes both Bill and Hillary Clinton. That includes the entire coverage of Hillary's race against Obama in the 2008 Democratic primary, in which she was the frontrunner for much of the race, her entire time serving as Obama's Secretary of State, as well as the coverage of her current race where she is the frontrunner against Bernie Sanders. Not to mention that Time Warner, which owns CNN, has provided donations to Hillary Clinton's campaigns in the 2008 and 2016 current election. But could it be that Trump is just put on the headlines to grab attention? Perhaps if we analyzed all the transcripts in their entirety from this year, we wouldn't find data that is so jaw-dropping. Well, I did just that, and I have a couple comparisons that I believe put this into perspective even better than the headlines do. First off, let's compare the frequency of Trump to the host of the show himself, Anderson Cooper. Trump comes in at a whopping 69 mentions per 10,000 words, while Cooper comes in at 52 mentions per 10,000 words. So Trump convincingly beats the host of the show himself, who is named in the transcripts every time he speaks. If the host of the show can't even beat him, who can? We're going to have to draw another comparison. Let's see if Dora is mentioned as much in Dora the Explorer. I took the transcript from the first episode I found online to analyze, and it shows that Trump is mentioned more frequently on Anderson Cooper 360 than the name Dora is mentioned in Dora the Explorer. What does this mean? It means that if you're watching the most popular show on CNN, you are more likely to hear about Donald Trump than you are to hear about Dora while watching Dora the Explorer. God help us. Wait, can God help us? Does God trump Trump? To find out, let's go to his autobiography and Donald's favorite book.
I said it the other night. My second favorite book of all time. What's my first favorite book? The Bible. The Bible. And as much as I love The Art of the Deal, it's not even close. We take the Bible all the way, right? Okay, thanks.
It turns out that the word God is mentioned 54 times per 10,000 words throughout the Bible. While this isn't enough, don't count God out yet, because God isn't how the Christian God is referred to in the Bible. He is almost always referred to as the Lord, which comes in at an intimidating 93 mentions per 10,000 words. So it appears Trump has met his match, but it's not over. In recent transcripts, his name's frequency is rising even further. During his ridiculous feud with Rubio, one transcript showed that he was mentioned at a frequency of 217 times per 10,000 words, which is more than Cooper in Anderson Cooper 360, Dora in Dora the Explorer, and Lord in the Bible combined. And who knows how huge his publicity would become if he were actually elected president. If that happens, I think God's help would be out of our reach.